Yeah, I like those headphones. They're fucking all broke up. Your Radio Shack shit. We are Popcorn, Piss, and Vinegar, giving you a raw take on movies, television, and pop culture. My name's Chris.
I'm Scott.
I am JB4.
And today our buddy Cole is on with us today.
Right on.
Oh.
What's up, Cole?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
So, Cole, we know as Colzia, which is that's your music name, which you do some remixes. You've done some stuff for Zombies Eating Sheep, which is part of, or the band is members of Not Real Radio, who is a brother and sister show to us. So you've done that, and you're working on some Ginger and the Bee remixes with Scott, huh?
I have done a Ginger the Bee remix of I Quit. I have done the Zombies Eating Sheep song Zombooty. I did a remix on that. And,
awesome.
I do have a new remix of Ginger and the Bee coming out, but I have an album I'm also trying to write on top of that. So
that's awesome.
A lot
man.
going on.
Well, that's cool, dude. I mean that's what's kind of all brought us together. As far as like our music career, me, Scott, and we're kind of part of that scene, and we meeting different musicians has connected us to different people over the years. Mm-hmm. John, even though not a musician, John's worked in media, has a media background, which
he did the Muse Inside video, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah,
I did.
So good work there.
Yeah, so I mean, all these things that we're all these different things that we're into bring us all together, and now here we are with you. So
yeah, I'm actually a big fan of the show. I've been listening probably for like the last year and a half, and
thanks, man.
I
Cool.
like the Star Wars references. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and I love Marvel and DC, like you said. I have some mixed opinions about that, but yeah, it's definitely something, like I said, this is another element that's brought us all together, is our love for movie and,
cool, man.
movies, TV shows, and pop culture. And I work in the movie industry myself as well, so I figured I'd have some good input for the show.
Oh yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, some of the stuff I want to talk to you about. You said that you've worked on a lot of set construction for different types of movies.
That's been my career.
Oh, cool, dude. Give us some of your credits. What's some of the stuff you've done?
All right, so my first major movie was Now You See Me.
Okay, cool.
And then I did The Maze Runner, Jurassic World, 12 Years a Slave, Beautiful Creatures.
Beautiful Creatures is one of my daughter's favorite movies. Mm-hmm. She watches it all the time.
Yep,
so.
that was a wild show. Oh God, man. I did like a couple of TV shows, like Into the Badlands and
Season 1 or Season 2?
Season 1.
Awesome.
And then I did.
So you're working on Claws, huh?
Yeah, I've done both seasons of that. I'm looking to return for season 3 pretty shortly. So, yep, I've been pretty busy over the last like 6-7 years doing it. So. And
your big march, I guess, into the superhero genre was Cloak and Dagger, which is on Freeform. That's a Marvel TV show. Mm-hmm. So you did some stuff for that, huh?
I got to strike the sets when season 1 was over, so I definitely got to see the. Like the way that there was a reactor set and then another like a warehouse set. I got to strike those. I haven't checked it out yet, but I know they're doing season 2 over here actually right now. I already know the crew that's doing that as well.
Cool, man. Awesome. Yeah, we've had various people on the show in the past. We have one guy named Victor Brunetti, does a lot of video assist and done some computer stuff, and a lot of people that work in the industry, and thank goodness that we've had the privilege to have some of the movie companies here, to where we get to interact with cool people that just live right here.
Didn't the governor go to meet with Netflix and those guys to try and kind of woo them into doing some stuff down here?
From what I heard is that he actually wants to star in his own series, which is going to be a spinoff of being the Waterboy's father, because he looks just like that motherfucker. So I think that'd be an awesome thing for him. That'd
you
be
can do it. Yeah, I had read that. I thought I saw that he was trying.
What, that he's going to be fucking Roberto Boucher?
Yes,
that's the shit.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Up. All right, very good.
That would be sick.
I'm sorry for shitting on your story, Scott.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm trying to tie it all together, and you can do
you're
it.
You're being a fucking asshole. I get it.
Yeah.
You're so kind.
All right, good times.
So.
Any good stories? You got any funny side stories that you could throw?
Wait, before...
No. I asked the question.
Real quick. Wait, I'm conducting the fucking interview. Hold on.
It's because you fucking started talking.
Real quick, look. What... really want to know what did the governor meet Netflix about?
I'm
dying to know. Tell me.
I told you already. If you would have listened to me instead of making Waterboy shitty jokes for the past 5 minutes, he wanted to see about getting them down here to do some work to keep our pal here with a job.
So
get him some extra work.
Yeah.
So he's inviting people from Netflix to come film some of their shows down here.
That's what I'm assuming. But I did read,
cool.
and I don't know if you have it in the news, but that Netflix just bought themselves a studio in Albuquerque. So, yeah.
Albuquerque kind of seems to be the hot area, I guess, because your boy that
And
does
Georgia.
Game of Thrones opened up his big studio in Albuquerque. George R.R. Martin has a studio. In fact, I think the Coen brothers are launching like one of their projects. That's like one of his first launch products out of his studio. So, yeah, but cool shit.
A lot more westerns coming up, I guess.
Something else that I didn't add into the news, and I want to say while I'm thinking of George R.R. Martin, I'm interested in seeing what happened with the Lord of the Rings rights that Amazon bought, because they just announced that they're doing Wheel of Time. And that's kind of like the big, I guess, kind of like competitor to Game of Thrones. It's another real kind of like real Machiavellian, really deep.
And who's doing that? Amazon's doing that?
Yeah, Amazon's doing Wheel of Time.
And who got Narnia? Who's doing Narnia?
Disney owns Narnia.
Yeah, but somebody picked up. Somebody's getting that, like Netflix or Hulu or one of those guys.
They
are getting the series.
They obviously got that from Disney. But
look it up.
I'm sorry, now going on this tangent. All right, so Cole, back to you, dude. Tell us some of the cool shit that you've seen and done on some of these sets, man.
Y'all want a cool story? Y'all want a funny story?
Two. Give me a cool one and a funny one.
All right, so I'd say probably one of the coolest stories. I also did Geostorm. Do y'all remember that movie, by the way?
They filmed,
we remember
they
Geostorm.
filmed some of that at my kid's school.
I heard a great story about that too, but I want to hear yours.
All right, so this actually does not have anything to do with Geostorm. This has to do with Jurassic World. I remember when I was working in the construction, and they were building the Velociraptor pit where they were running around in the beginning of the movie. And so I had to go bring those guys something, and I was coming back, and I just popped my head into special effects, and they were messing with like the animatronic head of the Indominus Rex, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Hi.
There's the alarm.
So I thought that was like pretty cool. And then also I remember when the museum, I thought it was a museum. They had like one NASA bay where they had that all built up, and then I got to see it when it was finished, and it was pretty cool. And then also the genetics lab as well. So that's probably my my favorite memory. I have many memories. But
it's good that you can still contain them.
Yeah, no, but yeah, no, there's a lot of sets you go through when you do this for 5-6 years, and you do like 20 movies. It's a lot. It all just ends up being another set. Funny story, we were doing, my best one is when we were doing 12 Years a Slave, and they have a department called Greens, and that's actually what I'm transferring to for Claws Season 3, is more like the landscaping guys. And dude, that movie, that was a fucking project on that one, dude. They had people out there doing all those like cotton fields and everything like that. They had to set all that up, and they had to do like all the big trees and everything too. And so the what they call the lead greensman, he did a no-no. He made a boo-boo, and he basically said, they told him like you can't park at a certain part in the set, and he decided just to disregard that anyway. So I had to go unload something with a big old machine. I ended up knocking this dude's fucking bumper off of his car. And so I was like, well, technically you weren't supposed to park here, and I couldn't really do anything about it. But sorry, Rob. And he's like, oh, well, it's all good. He's like, you're certified for that thing, right? I'm like, Anyway,
yes.
Make a long story.
Well, we bring guys in here, and we've had different people, I guess, from different things. You're doing actors, behind the scenes stuff, but man, this is the real cool shit that people. You see the finished product on screen. When you get somebody in, you talk anything about a movie, especially when they do something like Jurassic World or something, you're like, well, how was Chris Pratt? Okay, fuck, dude. Okay, look, on the level I'm at, dude, okay, I see Chris Pratt, or I don't see Chris Pratt, or whatever. Man, to me, all of the cool shit is all that kind of stuff, which is the stuff that, like, your teams are doing. All of that, man, all that little behind-the-scenes shit, especially people that are involved in these movies that really, like, love that shit, and they go to an artist or somebody and they say, man, this would be badass if we Easter egg, like, 8 cool little fucking things. Like, one of the big Easter egg things that they showed on Instagram is, Todd Phillips is currently directing the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. And on his Instagram, he showed a picture of a subway map that's in Gotham City, which what a Gotham City subway map would look like. Well, what's awesome is that when you look at the map, it actually references and Easter eggs popular Joker and Batman storylines with artists and all kinds of shit. They name different art. In fact, what's really funny is there's a Superman reference in it. One of the suburbs that's on the outside of the map, you have to really look careful for it, but it's called Otisburg. So they got all kinds of cool little shit that's in there, and it's really, really fucking
But
neat.
it's it's that attention to detail that people kind of take for granted when you just I'll give you a not that you worked on it, but like Stranger Things.
Oh yeah,
that show was so set in the '80s that everything in there was referenced. It was the '80s, like attention to detail, and that's. That's the thing.
That's how it was with like movies like 12 Years a Slave too, where it was set in like the 1920s. So,
right.
Yeah, basically, it really does come down to like like this tiniest detail, and that's why we have like people, production designers and art directors and everything too, who meticulously look at the set because they, like you said, when that Easter egg is needs to be present, they're looking for on every last detail. So yeah, that's those kinds of movies like you're referencing to, like the Joker movie for example. Though those they always have like assistant art directors and assistant production designers because there's so much detail that gets done. I mean, this doesn't have anything to do with Marvel, but it's the same kind of scale as when they did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, our buddy worked on that movie. He came in here and our buddy Victor worked Video Village on that movie.
Oh yeah. So they shut downtown down. They made it into pretty much
and that
barren
shit took
wasteland.
place in fucking California, and you can't even see New Orleans in that movie.
No.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it goes to the point where you're talking about with production designers. Another movie which I think was kind of a mixed bag in this room, but our friends over at Scary Thoughts, they loved it, was The Witch. And that movie, I mean, even though it's a real strange movie, and you got to kind of really prepare yourself that it's going to be kind of a drawn-out affair. The production design in that movie is incredible, man. I mean, and they said that the director was, like, meticulous, that he wanted everything. Like, that movie took place in, like, the 1800s, and he wanted everything to be perfect. Like, I mean, even to the point to where they had linguist and dialogue people, like, go back and say, okay, how did they actually talk in that time? To where they could match dialogue and everything to where it was perfect. So, but yeah, that's always the coolest shit. So,
have you seen The Witch?
Oh yeah,
It's
good.
I
watched it. I liked it. Okay. John didn't like it, but
you didn't like it.
I liked
I
it.
didn't.
What's
interesting?
I have not seen The Witch.
What's interesting is that the same director did Hereditary, and it's a very similar film, but that worked for me.
Okay.
I don't know why.
It's staring me in the face, and I'm kind of looking for something for Halloween. So
the coolest thing about The Witch, and it's something that you got to kind of put yourself into is you can watch videos on it. The guy who was the composer for The Witch said that he wanted to come up with something very unique for the soundtrack, and he had a luthier build a instrument for him that's called the Nightmare Machine, and it is a special instrument that was used. It's all kinds of cranks and wires, and like he's got these wires that like he bends and plays them with a violin bow, and it's all this real creepy, scary sounding shit. And there's a video on it on YouTube, and check that out. You can look that up. Just put The Witch Nightmare Machine instrument, and it shows you on that. It's really fucking cool. So
I have a question for our guest.
Yeah.
What's up, John? Do you get, like, when you start these movies like Jurassic World, for example, are they like Nazis about the non-disclosure agreements? Do they like put you in a room and go, "Don't you fucking"?
It's not so much that. It's more like if people take pictures and put them on social media, they do have these people that are looking out on people's profiles. So, like, for example, they did have a Teamster on Jurassic World who took a picture of the outside of the museum because that was a whole different location and a whole different facade. And, like, within an hour, dude, done. He was fired.
Damn.
Yeah. So they do have that. But, I mean, it's not like they get on you if you're just taking pictures, you know what I mean? I've taken pictures in front of like producers and assistant directors, like a bunch, but that's because sometimes we have to, like, we might be finishing something up, so I may have to send something. My dad is sometimes the foreman, so I'll just have to take a picture and send him something like, hey, this needs to be fixed, or hey, they were asking for this particular part to be detailed, and it's easier just to send a picture of it so he knows what to, you know, to work on right away.
Cool.
So
yeah, that's cool. That's really neat.
But,
but the NDAs, yeah, I mean,
social media can be your downfall if you use it incorrectly in the movie industry.
Wow.
Take note, Star Wars.
Oh, and that's exactly it. I mean, it gets to a point to where, I mean, you're talking about movies like Jurassic World, which are also, I mean, dude, you're talking about, regardless of what you feel about them, you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar franchise. And the thing with it is that, man, they're as protective of their intellectual property as Disney and Warner Brothers and all that stuff. So, yeah, they're going to be very selective. Yes, stuff does slip through in the age we live in now, but what you're going to see from them directly is extremely controlled.
Oh, yeah.
And Scott, who also is a social media marketer, you know, I mean, it's going to also not only be controlled, but I think that they're going to let you see certain things on purpose. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, actually, speaking of social media, this is something that's a little bit different, too, but it's, you know how the Fruit Loops like to control, you know, things when it comes to, like, issues of feminism and racism and all that kind of stuff. I was watching, I saw the new Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them trailer.
Yeah.
And apparently they had a little shit fit about the actress who turns into the snake, who's like
Nagini.
She's not Korean. She's apparently like Chinese or something like that. They just flipped out.
I know. I've gotten in this subject on the show before, and I've been cut. So yeah, but
I thought she might like that.
Well, we're going through the same shit right now. In fact, just to bring up and just touch on that, I'm not going to get too heavy into it, but we'll get into news in the trailer. But real quick, I saw it today. They unveiled the costume that Ruby Rose is going to wear to be Batwoman.
Yeah.
And it looks fucking good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it looks
awesome.
real good. But she's another one. She had to quit social media. Because she was catching too much flack. Because if you know about Ruby Rose, she's a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that people are basically saying that she shouldn't be allowed to play Batgirl because Batgirl is an all-the-way lesbian instead of a bisexual. So, yeah. So it's getting fucking ridiculous. So, anyway. All right, well, look, let's get into some trailers and some news here. First of all, trailers. There were 3 of them that were of note. Into the Spider-Verse, which is going to be an animated coming out of Disney. I think it comes out of Sony, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's cool is that this is going to be a movie that's going to take all of the Spider-Mans from multiverses and put them together. So Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, which is the Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man. Then there's regular Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And then there's Spider-Ham, the pig. Yep. So all these different characters. And I mean, dude, this trailer looks fucking awesome.
It looks really good.
It does look really good.
The animation looks good. It's a really kind of new, unique style. And what's cool about it also is that, man, it just looks good. I mean...
And you know who was written by, correct?
No. Who's it written by?
One of the Lego guys.
No shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
They both produced it.
Pardon me the interruption.
No
I actually remember this type of style being used on like one other movie I've seen. It's called A Scanner Darkly, and it's got Keanu Reeves in it. Y'all remember that movie?
Yeah.
So that's the only time I've actually really seen that type of style in a movie.
Yeah, if you haven't catched that movie, check that out. That's classic Robert Downey Jr. on the mend. Yeah, so that's right before he landed the Iron Man role.
Y'all have looked at the cast of this Into the Spider-Verse?
No, I don't know who's playing who. I have no idea, but I mean, it looks great.
Throw a couple names at you.
Sure.
Nick Cage.
No shit. Who's he playing?
He's playing Spider-Man Noir.
Okay, gotcha.
Liev Schreiber.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
Liev Schreiber, who played he played Sabretooth in the Wolverine.
The original X-Men.
In Wolverine Origins. No, it was
Correct.
Tyler,
I'm
Tyler
sorry.
Mane.
I'm
Tyler
sorry.
Mane was in X-Men, but he was in
You're right.
Wolverine Origins.
Kingpin. He plays Kingpin.
No shit.
Yeah.
Nice choice.
Yeah.
Who plays Peter Parker?
I haven't. I don't. See, they don't list by. They just say Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. Who?
Jake
Lily
Johnson?
Tomlin.
Yeah,
Lily
he's
Tomlin.
that's who it is.
Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson is playing Peter Parker Spider-Man. I don't know who's playing Miles Morales Spider-Man though.
Schmeat Moore.
Yeah, new kid. Looks
Okay.
like.
Lily Tomlin is playing May.
Okay, so she's playing Aunt May, Lily Tomlin. Oh,
Yeah.
Marshala Ali, the guy who won the Oscar for Moonlighting, and
He's in. He
Luke
was.
Cage.
Yeah. He was also in. Not Game of Thrones.
Get Out or
No. God damn it. The President movie. President on Netflix. House of Cards. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah,
House of Cards, okay.
Jesus, he's great.
Cool.
He's he's the
He's
like,
Prowler.
Secret Service guy. Yeah, Prowler. He's Prowler.
good shit.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. John Mulaney. He's a Spider-Ham. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm actually stoked about checking out this movie. I think I'm going to take the kiddo to see it. I don't know
I'll
what
see
it's,
it.
I don't know what it's rated, but if it's PG-13, I'll have to. But if it's just PG or G, yeah, we're all over that shit. So.
Yeah.
Next one is Aquaman, the 5-minute magnum opus trailer that they released. I mean,
I'll say this. Usually the 2-minute trailers are like the best thing of the movie, and then you watch those DC movies, and you're like, damn, the trailer was the best thing. This was 5 minutes.
yeah,
And this was pretty good.
This was awesome. I liked it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the chase scene, they showed an entire chase scene pretty much, an abridged version of it, but
Yeah.
it looked awesome.
The chase scene looked really good. I think my problem a lot with this movie, some of the underwater shit looks weird. Another thing that I noticed also is that the Atlantis, like the Atlantis Kingdom, it looks like fucking Oda Gungo from fucking Star Wars Episode 1. It looks like where the Gungans live.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, wow, that shit's like directly lifted. So, and you know, I mean, Jason Momoa broing it up. I mean,
He did bro it up a
look,
lot.
dude, he is who he is. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
going to change him, and so that's all that shit.
I
So,
did like the yellow and green reveal at the end.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought
That
that
was pretty cool.
Yeah, the original, the OG Aquaman suit. Yeah, that was.
It did not look ridiculous, which
No, and I'm
was
glad
amazing.
they moved
Right.
away from the, sort of the 300.
Black
Yeah.
Manta looks fucking awesome.
It does,
Dude,
yeah.
he looks good. So, yeah, I mean, dude, it's DC, it's Aquaman. I love DC, even though they piss me off with their movies, but I'll go see it. I'm gonna check it out definitely. And then the last one, Dark Phoenix. Cole, you and I were talking about earlier. You're a big X-Men fan.
I am.
I'm a fan of about half the X-Men movies. I don't know how this one's gonna. I'm hearing.
It's like you said. It's when First Class came out. It after that, it just kind of seemed to fall off a cliff a little bit again. I mean, I like I always like what they do with the effects, and some of the storylines are good, but I think the originals were better. But Dark Phoenix was actually brought to life in X3. If people really saw it,
Yeah, the Brett Ratner.
Yeah, but
Shit the bed.
brought to life,
Shit the bed
or like
X-Men.
executed.
maybe brought to life for it's 15 to 15 minutes of fame, but then
Yeah.
like you said, it died off, and then First Class came and kind of resurrected it for a little bit, and I mean, I agree with you. I definitely wasn't as fond of the next two as I was First Class either, and this might be, it's one of and then The Gifted, that's not the best show out there. It's decent.
I haven't seen that. You were telling us about it on the PPV Guys group. You
I
said you-
remember, I stopped watching it after a little while through, and it's like, okay, for example, has anyone in here seen Gotham?
Yeah, I've seen about half of the first season.
Okay, so
I gave
3
up on it.
episodes. Yeah.
okay, so everybody who gave up on it didn't see the second season, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay,
No,
so
which I heard was better.
well, there's one of the characters who plays this chick that Bruce falls for, and she's like the main character of Gifted, and so I mean the acting is not
Is
the
it
greatest.
Same actress.
Yeah, it's the same actress.
Same actress, same character.
Not the same character.
Yeah, not same character, but same actress.
Yeah, but anyway, to make a long story short, like it's gotten good reviews, and there is a second season of it. But and that's the thing. There was actually talk they wanted to maybe integrate part of the Gifted universe into this movie, but that didn't go well along with the fans or producers. So, but yeah, I mean it's a decent show. I would recommend obviously starting from the beginning, but yeah, it's hard to watch at some points because the acting is pretty bad, but the special effects and the design, like we were talking about, that stuff is really cool. But,
Gotham, you mean? Or
no,
Gifted?
I'm talking about the Gifted.
Gifted, yeah.
Yeah, I love Gifted. Gifted, at least season 1. I haven't seen season 2 yet.
Yeah, the X-Men show, right?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, but you were also fond of Legion, which is also an X-Men show as well. That's the one that's done by the guy who does
Right.
Fargo. Yeah, that's
I'm thinking of Legion.
Legion.
That's
is
exactly what I'm
Legion.
thinking of.
Yeah, Legion.
I've not seen Gifted.
Yeah, Legion's the other one. The Fox network is the Gifted one, which is kind of more like an X-Men show that's loosely based on X-Men. But so's Legion. Legion's kind of loosely based on X-Men.
Are they going to kneecap it once Disney gets the rights?
I don't think so. I think it's going to
Interesting.
continue on as its own thing, and that's because it doesn't use any of the lead characters. Like, you'll never see Wolverine or Charles Xavier or any of those characters on Gifted. It's
Right.
basically, this is the X-Men model, but we're going to kind of launch its own story.
Yeah, which I love.
So, yeah, but that's all that shit. All right, well, into some news here. Jon Favreau's Star Wars TV show will be titled The Mandalorian, and it will follow the adventures of a lone gunfighter on the outskirts of the galaxy. The show will be executive produced by Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni, and Jon Favreau. Dave Filoni, who we all love, he's the creator of Star Wars Rebels, The Clone Wars. He's fronted Disney, Lucasfilm Animation since George Lucas was in charge of the company. He's kind of like the true, I call him the student and kind of the custodian of the Star Wars galaxy. I'm very stoked. He's directing the pilot, and to my knowledge, I think this is his first directing job in something live action. So, very fucking cool.
He earned it.
Also, Filoni, after he takes care of the pilot, we have a director's list that's kind of like it's like a rock band supergroup. Bryce Dallas Howard is going to be directing an episode. Rick Famuyiwa, he is a director of a movie called Dope. He was actually supposed to direct The Flash, which he dropped out of.
Oh.
And he's going to be directing an episode of Star Wars. And Taika Waititi, who is the director of Thor Ragnarok. So, man, I mean, it's a pretty rock star list of directors. So I'm stoked about seeing this show.
Just the same Bryce Dallas Howard that's on Jurassic World?
Yeah,
Yes.
the daughter,
Wow.
the
Yeah,
daughter,
that's crazy.
the daughter of Ron Howard. So, yeah, really cool shit. And also star Black Mirror. So, cool shit. Right. According to a study by the University of California, most of the trolls that attacked Lucasfilm and Rian Johnson were in fact Russian bots. The study didn't show that many were also real people who didn't take it kindly when the director acts like the exact thing he accuses others of, being a man baby and a little bitch. So that's pretty much how that goes. Speaking of Rian Johnson, which, I mean, dude, look, Rian Johnson, he's taking his lumps for Star Wars from fucking dopey fanboys, but, dude, I'm actually looking forward to this because Looper and that shit is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
My dad actually worked on Looper.
Nice, man. He's working on a new movie that's called Knives Out. And Knives Out is he's landed Chris Evans, Daniel Craig, Michael Shannon, and Lakeith Stanfield, who was in Get Out and also stars in Atlanta. And he's got a serious cast. He said this is going to be a good old-fashioned murder mystery. Lakeith Stanfield is playing a detective, and these are all the suspects. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Rian Johnson also directed one of the best episodes of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The second to last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying that also by him taking on this movie, it's kind of cast some doubt whether he's going to be involved with Lucasfilm or not. Because they're saying that this is going to be a big-time movie that's going to put him out of commission for a year and a half. Seems like the Game of Thrones guys are pretty much kind of jetting forward with
Makes
Star
you
Wars.
think if that's going to put him out for a year and a half, what about Chris Evans?
Yeah, well, Chris Evans, he's coming up in the news later on. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
it's not even a mystery. I mean,
yeah, right, exactly. It's rumored that Deadpool 2 will be re-released with a PG-13 cut and will duplicate the scenes from The Princess Bride, where the grandfather reads the story to his sick grandson. Fred Savage is said to reprise his role as the grandson, and Deadpool will take over as Peter Falk. The movie will be released in December and has a working title of The Deadpool Before Christmas.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
So, I mean, dude, it's
So
it's
my
smart,
kid will
smart
make-
marketing, man.
My kid will make 13, and we'll see that movie.
Well, there you go. So that's it. Finally, free at last, free at last.
That's it.
When asked what role he'd like to take on in a superhero movie, Nicolas Cage said that he would love to play Lex Luthor, which I think would be fucking amazing. That'd be so good.
Has anyone here seen the film Mandy yet?
No. Is he delightfully bad in it?
Oh, he's delightfully good.
Really,
but
is
he's
he?
unhinged. But his character's supposed to be. It's a really unique bit of horror cinema, pulp cinema. It's great.
Is he back to Leaving Las Vegas Nick Cage, or is he more like Face Off Nick Cage? Or like,
I mean, it's hard to say. I guess the best way to put it is he's more Face Off Nick Cage, but there's context to it. He starts Leaving Las Vegas and then goes full. But it's all about
Mom
revenge.
and Dad. You see Mom and Dad?
No, but
That's a terrible movie, by the way.
Okay.
But he's unhinged in that as well.
oh, I
So-
love Unhinged Nick Cage. I mean, shit. In fact, you can go on YouTube and watch like 30-minute. You can watch 30-minute clips of Nick Cage going fucking nuts, which is fantastic.
nothing will ever top Vampire's Kiss.
Oh, fuck yeah! When he eats the roach from the oven
yeah.
and shit. Oh, fuck
out of his
yeah.
mind. I'm a
The fucking best.
Yeah.
All right, after succeeding in getting Clayne Crawford fired from Lethal Weapon, Damon Wayans has now announced that he's leaving the show.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not kidding at all. No, he's fucking...
So what are they gonna do?
I think the show's going to come to a close.
Ah,
They just cast Sean William Scott
Yeah.
to replace Clayne Crawford, and not as Martin Riggs, as a
No.
whole new character.
I was actually gonna kind of check it out and see where they were gonna go, but all right.
If it isn't Riggs and Murtaugh, dude, it ain't Lethal Weapon. And
No, but he's good. He's good.
who's that? Clayne Crawford?
No, what's his name?
Sean William Scott?
Sean William Scott. Yeah.
I mean, it's Stifler, I guess. I mean, I haven't-
Yeah, for real. That's what I was thinking
He
of when
could
you
play
mentioned him.
No.
I mean, I haven't seen him like in a serious like cop role.
But like
you know?
role models, he was a good sidekick to Paul Rudd.
He was also in a movie with Jet Li, if I'm not mistaken. It was like an action movie, but he was like the comedic sidekick. I forgot the name of
yeah,
it.
when
Which
and he's in the other one with The Rock, The Rundown. He plays
Yeah.
the comedic sidekick
yeah,
in that
I mean,
too.
that's
so.
why I feel like he could be that in that role.
I did some reading into Lethal Weapon. I never watched a single episode of the show, but from what I heard is that the first 2 seasons of that show were really fucking good. Like, they were very much in the spirit of the movies.
Yeah, but I also heard. I mean, I heard the guy that plays Riggs was really good, but really crazy and abusive and.
Well, they
an
said that he
asshole.
was, but they said if you really drill down in the background of what was going on, it come to find out Wayans was the one that was kind of being a diva and an asshole. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Fuck it. I mean,
Done.
it's
Yeah.
right. I think that this is going to pretty much be set off the pasture. The cast of Birds of Prey is shaping up. Margot Robbie will reprise her role as Harley Quinn, and Rosie Perez will join as police detective Renee Montoya. Like Harley Quinn, Montoya was a character that was created for the Batman animated series and was ported over to the comics.
She was also in Gotham too.
Oh, Rosie Perez is?
Not Rosie.
Renee Montoya, that character. Yeah, that doesn't surprise
she
me.
is part of the crew that tries to arrest Jim Gordon in season 1.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, that's it. You know, the Batman lore, it's the same old thing. We're making a lot of Batman movies without Batman, but I guess that's okay if they're good.
Well, she's
So-
also, I think, apparently Barbara's lesbian ex-girlfriend as well. So there's some history with that.
She is one of the gay characters in DC. So you'll have that representation in the movie. So, did Chris Evans just say goodbye to Marvel? Here was his tweet after wrapping on Avengers 4. Officially wrapped on Avengers 4. It was an emotional day to say the least. Playing this role over the last 8 years has been an honor. To everyone in front of the camera, behind the camera, and in the audience, thank you for the memories. I'm eternally grateful, Chris Evans.
Whoa.
So I don't know if that means I'm gone, or if that's some
Of course it does.
Well, is it some misdirection though?
I mean, it could be, but
It could be.
Like, he's been telegraphing this for years.
I just
And
feel like
mean,
that's like Ruffalo spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I don't know that he would.
Yeah.
And I also don't. I don't know. But it's both
I
sides
see
of the coin.
Fallon nonsense.
But I'm just saying, if he's spoiling this, they would yank it. But I don't feel like he's the kind of guy that would spoil things.
No.
So I don't know. Is it a play? Is it not a play? But he seems too genuine to be toying with us. But at the same time, I don't know.
I mean, Dead's never really dead. So, I mean, he's still, unless he becomes, like, tragically out of shape in
Which
2 to
ain't
3
gonna happen.
years. I can see him turning up again.
I think what it comes down to, it's the old comics thing. Nobody ever truly dies in comics. He's going to die off. They'll let him sit for a few years, and then, hey, Captain America's returning, and it's going to be
They
Chris
give him the
Evans,
shield to
and-
Bucky or whoever. and
Yeah,
he
Buck
comes
Walt
back.
takes the shield, and there it is. So
there it is.
Probably going to be the same thing that they did with Andrew Lincoln in The Walking Dead. He's going to die off, and then he's going to come back here and there.
They're setting that shit up from a million miles away.
What do you mean?
Oh, the whole Andrew Lincoln, Rick's leaving Walking Dead. That dude ain't going to die. He's going to walk off into the sunset, and then they're going to see what the show does for a little while, and then to try to get it to recapture some of its ratings glory, good old Rick's going to come back. And,
All right, so you don't have that, but I'll be the Walking Dead representative.
oh, please do.
real fast
Yeah,
and
because
just say,
you can waste your time and let us know what's going on. So that works out good.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. They're not going to write him off for killing because, like you had reported before, they have that 10-year plan ahead with putting all these movies out and these things. If you kill the guy who is the main star of the comics and the TV show, you can't put him in any of those
Well, you
shows.
already killed the main star of the comics. You already did that.
I'm just saying. So if you want to bring him back in this 10-year plan, you can by not killing him off. And also, AMC. I don't know if you. So I'm sure none of y'all watched it, but AMC has this AMC Premiere now, where you subscribe and you can get like full episodes and streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that AMC was looking at for The Walking Dead like a home for their new spin-offs and their new movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they're going to try to get in the content game and launch their own service too.
I think that's it. I think they're doing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how successful they are.
Yeah,
It would have probably been smart to do this probably 3 or 4 years ago, but
Before they sign a contract with Netflix and Hulu, of course.
yeah. So,
Anyway, as far as a quick review, it's most of the same.
of course it is.
It wasn't a great premiere, but it wasn't terrible. It was
Yeah, but
just
that's
average.
been the same thing for Walking Dead for the past three or four
I know, but
seasons.
the premiere should at least be rock solid, and this was okay.
The last good premiere that Walking Dead had was the Terminus premiere. That was like season 5. That was like the last great premiere that they had, and then everything from there has just been
I
kind
think
of dog shit.
No, the great premiere was the Negan repair when he kills everybody. That was great.
If you say so.
I do.
All right. Despite crappy reviews, Venom netted $80 million on its own week
Apparently,
on its
I think
opening
that's
weekend.
the most in October, in an October debut.
Yeah,
that's what I read.
Broken October debut. Yeah, spot on.
What did it go against?
I didn't go against anything.
Exactly.
I think it went
Yeah,
against
well.
A Star Is Born. That was supposedly the next number 2, but that one got 41 million. Not even close.
Stars Born has legs. I don't think Venom has legs.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Apparently, the Cinema Score audience score has been quite high.
For Venom?
Yeah.
For Venom, yeah.
Yep. So,
Dude,
I'm probably going to go see it.
Everybody
honestly.
everybody said the same shit about Suicide Squad. Dude, that movie made fucking $700 million, and it sucked. I
Yeah, it
guarantee you, Venom is better than that movie.
Exactly.
And I haven't heard Venom is that good. And that's the thing, man. Look, if this movie makes that kind of money, where it makes like 6, 7, 800 million, dude, there's going to be a lot of justification from Sony to release a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man.
Well, I've also been hearing that there are some inspired scenes in it.
Yeah.
Especially, apparently, there's one scene that Hardy improvised that just crushed it. So, I'm interested, you know?
Are you going to see it?
Yeah.
Let me know.
I heard it is fucking zany. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
I heard
what I
it is
heard, too.
literally
What Chris said.
zany. I heard it is a horrible movie, but everything that's in it with Tom Hardy and the symbiote, it is the most zaniest, craziest shit.
Oh,
And that's
good.
the word. Not
it's
fucking
zany.
nuts.
Yeah, right.
Zany.
Zany.
Zany, and that's why I'm curious to see.
Oh,
you
dude, I'm
you
in.
go see it. Let me know if I could escape. I'll fucking come
Okay.
down there and check it out with y'all. All right, fresh off of his firing from Marvel, James Gunn started production on a new horror movie titled Brightburn. That movie has now been placed on hold because it's rumored Gunn will write and direct Suicide Squad for Warner. That's
interesting.
Yeah, I think that they're trying to grab him immediately. I think it's a bad mistake. I think they should put him on Green Lantern.
Me too.
But here's the thing,
He's perfect for Green Lantern. He's the only director I think that could pull it off.
But dude, remember when Joss Whedon was going to save the fucking Justice League? You
Yeah,
know, I mean,
right.
we got that. This is what I would love to see happen. I would love to see, Batista start the campaign to get in this movie, since him and James Gunn are bros.
Yeah.
But James says, look, dude, we can't let you in because with Momoa, we already got enough fucking bro to go around.
Right.
So
He's,
you got to stay at the Marvel bro camp and not the DC bro camp.
Coming back to wrestling for a little stint, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I know.
He's probably got something to promote. So
I don't know.
And here we go in our last piece of news. Walking Dead actor Scott Wilson has died from complications of cancer.
Ugh.
What's crazy is the news of his death came right on the heels of the announcement that he'll be returning for Walking Dead Season 9, which I would assume is going to be a flashback scene. It's going to be him and Sonequa Martin Green, who played Sasha and now plays the lead on Star Trek Discovery. She's returning also.
Oh, wow, okay.
So they're both going to be back for this season to do some shit. So
Did they well, wait a minute. There's a lot of people coming back for this season. Shane is coming back for this season?
That's what I'm saying. I think they're going to be doing a lot of flashback, and it's going to be Rick's retrospective before he heads off into the Barrens, only to return later on when the ratings really fucking slump.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't.
Actually, I got a PS piece of news too. I read earlier today, but there's the new James Bond debate about who's going to be the new one. Apparently, Tom Hiddleston, the guy who plays Loki, is now like a little bit upper.
Fuck. So he's.
I just read this today.
Great.
He was in the. I think he'd be okay. I think he'd be fine. Me personally, I mean, dude, look, if I can pick anybody to be James Bond, I want Tom Hardy to play James Bond. But my second choice is Cavill that played Superman.
Cavill.
He's my second choice. But
Since he doesn't have a job anymore anyway.
yeah, right. Well, he's got the job. He's got the Netflix job now. But
Right. Witcher.
But I mean,
He
I
does
think
have
that
the Netflix
would be
job.
pretty awesome though if you think about it. I mean, dude, James Bond, those movies are in the $1 billion club now.
Right.
I mean, dude, if you think
They are,
about it,
yeah.
Skyfall outgrossed fucking Justice League and fucking Batman versus Superman. So I mean,
Shit, it was a great movie, man.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, dude, for him to come in there and be like, Cavill, we don't want you to leave to be Superman. We don't want you to leave. Dude, fuck you. I'm going to be good James Bond, man.
Right.
Fuck.
I'm going to go make some money.
I'm going to go make James Bond and take over the mantle of that franchise,
Did you guys see the
So long, sluts.
the Night Manager, the miniseries, The Night Manager? Tom Hiddleston was in it.
No.
You should watch it.
That's
he
with,
plays sort of like British spy kind of material.
Oh, yeah,
It's-
that's the one he did with House, huh?
That's correct.
Yeah, I heard
Hugh
that was
Laurie.
very good.
It's
so-
excellent.
Cool,
It's
man.
highly recommended, and you can kind of. I mean, I remember thinking I'd be like, he'd be a pretty good Bond, actually. So
Yep. So,
good casting.
So wait, will you confirm this again? Henry Cavill is now the Witcher.
yeah, he's going to play The Witcher
Wow,
on Netflix.
I remember when my friend first got the game, and he's like, "Dude, you gotta check this game out, man. You get to fight all these demons, and but apparently it gets really, really hard. But the story of the
Yeah.
game is really good. So that's actually something I was talking to. I'm gonna make this quick, but
That's okay.
something I was talking to Scott about, and he's like, because I played like a bunch of Bethesda's games like Fallout and the Elder Scrolls and another one called Dishonored, and dude, those would make such good movies.
That's what we say, but nobody fucking does them right.
Like,
I remember when everybody's like, dude, Assassin's Creed,
That's-
that's a fucking movie. And dude, I mean, got a serious actor, got a hardcore actor. I mean, dude, Super Mario Brothers was going to be
Yeah,
great.
Tomb
Not
Raider.
fucking around.
Tomb Raider twice,
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah, the first Tomb Raider actually did really well.
It did.
But this one with
It did well, but it wasn't a good movie.
The one with the other girl, with Ex Machina, that fucking flopped. I mean, flopped. But dude, I get what you're saying. I mean,
Yeah, no. Well, actually, I've done research, and Bethesda has they get movie offers every single day. They have Jerry Bruckheimer on their board of directors. If they really want to make a movie, they can make one.
No shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I mean, but they've gotten pitch after pitch after pitch, and the only way that an Elder Scrolls movie would happen, because that's that's like Lord of the Rings type of like
Yeah,
environment,
I'm
and so
familiar.
like all those types of names. Yeah, the only way it would happen, they said, is if Peter Jackson took interest in the coming. That's the only director they want to work with it.
Well, and it goes to show you with Bruckheimer, maybe he sits there and looks at it and he's like, hey, well, fuck, here's what everything goes with this movie. We want movies or video games to have more of a cinematic feel to them. So you bring a guy in there like with Bruckheimer that you really have no intention of making any of this shit like a movie. You just sit there and say, we don't want to turn it into a movie. We just want our shit to be like a movie.
Right.
So you bring that guy in for that.
Who would you have direct a Fallout movie?
George Miller. Mad Max.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's a good
That would
one.
actually be the perfect
Yep.
director for that type of style,
Yeah.
because I played a bunch of Fallout, and that, I mean, you're facing zombies, you're facing mutants, you're facing all kinds of creatures out
You
there
don't
that have
have
been
any cars.
radiated. So
George
watched-
Miller.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
you do have a bajillion guns.
True.
So
Yeah, I've watched people play Fallout, and that's one of the few video games I could like watch someone else play for hours. It's fascinating
It is.
and badass.
It is.
they also have a lot of Easter eggs too that they leave. They leave them from like previous Fallout, but other Bethesda series too. But the other game that I mentioned, Dishonored, actually probably would. That's a quick one. That's like it's a first person it's a game where you can use magic basically to be an assassin. You can go in like Hitman and basically, either stealthily kill people, or you can just, raise hell and just kill everybody if you want. But that would, like, the powers you get and everything too, and the storyline that goes along with it, would probably make a good like 2-part, movie series.
I was laughing because Bill Maher made a joke. He was talking about on his rules and all that shit, and one of his rules were, stop telling me that video games should be turned into movies, because the thing with it is, look, the video game has a good storyline. Yeah, okay, move forward, jump, press A.
Look left. Look right.
Look left.
Walk
look right,
forward.
Walk forward. That's it. Such a great storyline.
I actually
Fucking
watched
funny.
the Doom movie when I do a lot of graphics work, and when I do, I'll just
Dude,
put on
our
bad
boys
movies.
in that movie. Fucking Carl Urban.
Yeah, Carl Urban, The Rock. It's bad. I mean,
Oh,
That's
it's
what I
horrible.
heard.
It's horrible, but it's
it
great.
is. Yeah, I mean, it's watchably bad, but like, I mean, there's one sequence in which they do the point of view of the game, and
Oh yeah, that's at the end of the movie. Yeah, they do the first-person shooter, and the way I look at it is, look, dude, to watch Doom, to really enhance your watching experience for Doom, it's pretty easy. Have the following things: a bag of dope, a bong, and a fucking bag of peanut butter M&Ms, and you're fucking good to go.
yeah,
So that's pretty much it.
Pretty much, yeah.
And on that note, do we have anything to add, gentlemen?
Have y'all seen Maniac on Netflix yet?
My wife
No.
watched it. I can't get into it. I
Did she
saw
finish it?
Yeah, she told me. She says, I don't understand a fucking thing that's going on.
Okay. Because I'm more than halfway through, and I feel like I'm taking a test.
Yeah,
It's kind of miserable.
yeah.
Oh,
Not
really?
that I don't understand it. I understand it. I'm waiting for the part that everybody goes, just wait for it. You're gonna flip when you get. I'm waiting for it, and I haven't gotten there yet.
I cannot stand Jonah Hill. I fucking hate Jonah Hill.
Then you're gonna fucking hate
yeah,
that
and that's what I'm saying. It's like I hear his voice, and I want
Ooh.
to slash my wrist. So
I have some comic news,
Uh-oh.
and
Okay.
I'm hitting the normal sites, and I read this. I haven't read comics since Y: The Last Man, which is really good, but
which is a show that's going to be on FXX, by the way.
can't wait.
It's just called The Last Man. It's not called Why the
Yeah,
Last Man.
it was written
so.
by one of the guys that wrote Lost, and I think he's involved in it, obviously, because he has some TV legs. So,
Carlton. Cuse?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I
Lindelof?
wrote the story here. It was a banner day for sales and a sad day for Batman purists. The first issue of DC's Batman Damned comic series has the distinction of being the first Batman comic to feature Bruce Diggler Wayne's Full Monty. Co-publisher Dan DiDio was quoted as saying, "It's something we wish never happened because it really took the attention away from what we thought was quality storytelling. And that's
Go
not the way we
fuck
see
yourself.
his imprint."
Go fuck yourself.
Sit-
And tell Jim Lee to go fuck himself, too, with that stupid shit. They did it on purpose so they could get fucking publicity.
Oh, it worked.
And that's what it's all about. It worked for them. And all this bullshit of, I wish we wouldn't. Oh, dude, fuck you. You knew what you were doing. You knew what was going to happen. And it goes the same old shit. I'm sitting there reading the whole thing with Venom. Oh, man, Venom should have been R-rated. Dude, fuck off, man. Nolan wrote The Dark Knight which he insinuated shit with the Joker, and it was beautiful. You don't need R-rated.
Right.
You don't need dicks flopping around. You don't need that fucking stupid shit. More bullshit from the comic industry to be a bunch of fucking edgelords. And fuck them, I hope it blows up in their face.
Quickly, Robin, to the Batcock.
Yeah, right, exactly. Fucking, yeah. Robin, slide down my pole. Yeah, slide down my pole. Fucker. So.
Now we know why Robin became Nightwing.
All right, so there it is. All right, so is there anything else to add?
That was fucking terrible. But anyway.
Anything for you to add, Cole?
Anything, Cole?
No, I think I'm good unless somebody wants to hear one more story.
Yeah, give it to us, dude. We'll
as
close
long
out
as
with
it's
that.
not about Batman and his,
It
his
has
dick.
nothing to do with Batman.
All right.
Actually, I was talking to Chris about this. There was probably another movie memory that I do want to share. I remember this one pretty vividly because I was helping special effects when we were doing the movie Now You See Me, and there's a scene. Has anybody seen that movie?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so you remember the scene where Isla Fisher that jumps into that like tank of piranhas?
Yes.
I remember the scene.
Okay, yeah. So I remember they probably did about 5 or 6 times, but I remember I was standing right next to the guys. They had to inject the blood through like a little like special plastic tube whenever they probably use up like 4 or 5, 6 bottles of this blood, but having to reshoot the scene all these times. But apparently the piranha like fish, they weren't actually piranhas, they look like them.
Okay.
So like whenever she jumped in, they all would freak out and everything, look like they are biting her, but they're just swimming around like frantically. They're actually, I forgot what the name of the fish were, but yeah, it was a pretty elaborate scene. And then also I remember the tank itself cost like probably like, I don't know, 120, 150,000 to build. So
yeah.
it was an expensive project. Oh yeah.
That's when we know those expensive things go up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my friend David was involved in a movie that was called Locust for the Sci-Fi Channel, and he said the way that they did their Locust was that they took packaging peanuts and painted them black, put 2 little green eyes on them, and threw them in a shop fan, and that's how they got the fucking Locust in the movie.
Nice.
So. All right, well, cool, man. Look, check us out on PPV Guys Group. Also, check us out on Twitter. You can join us there as well. I don't know, Scott, have you been doing any tweeting from that? I think we're more on the group than the tweets, huh?
I do some tweeting for the YouTube to get people involved in the YouTube.
But that's the big one. Look, YouTube, and also subscribe, please, over on iTunes. And hey, Cole, we'd like to thank you for coming on, dude.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for
stuff,
bringing
man.
me on. It was an honor. I appreciate it very much.
Man, hey, look, we enjoyed having you, buddy.
The honor was ours.
Thanks for listening. End scene.